I want to ask each of you, do you think this format is fair given that we had a shortened season?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say it's as good as it could be for this year. It makes a lot of sense because there was a really good chance that the regular season wasn't going to be fair, and in a lot of ways it wasn't. Overall, I think it's probably unfair as sort of a long-term fix, just because you look at so many teams that have won 66% of their games. The Rays were 40-20, the Dodgers were even better than that. So for it to come down to a best 2 out of 3 against teams that were barely 500, if that, is kind of inherently unfair and sort of runs counter to what baseball is, particularly when fans get invested over a 162-game season. So not a bad workaround, but probably not, hopefully not, a long-term solution.
I think for the way that the season schedule was set up, you needed to expand the playoffs. And again, with the shortened season, we had a team last year in the Washington Nationals that started 19-31 and ended up winning the World Series. That same thing happened. The Nationals had 19-31 through their first 50 games and were completely out of it. So, it didn't get them back into the playoffs, but it did expand the field to the point where teams that may have started slowly and could have had a much better season had we been 162 games and deserved to be in the playoffs, they can get in.
We do, like you guys mentioned, have 2 losing teams making the playoffs this season. Do you think that the winner of this year's World Series should have an asterisk next to their name? Why not?
Yeah, asterisk is tough. I mean, that the word seems to provoke a lot of emotions, from Babe Ruth to the 2017 Houston Astros, the Barry Bonds or whatever you want to call it. So I think that's a little harsh, but I think everybody is kind of rooting for a legitimate team to win it. I mean, just take the Dodgers. They've won 8 consecutive division titles. They've gone to 2 of the last 3 World Series, and they were a better than 600 club this year. So if the Dodgers win it, I think their track record combined with their 2020 performance, everybody will walk away feeling like, yeah, that's legit. I can live with that. Same with probably the Rays. Same with the Yankees. They've been there every year the last couple of years. You talk about the Brewers and the Astros, the 2 sub-500 teams. If they win the World Series, I don't think that's going to make anybody happy outside of Milwaukee and Houston. And I mean, if somehow the Astros win again after all the support they received this year, let's just say there's probably not a lot of people in the central office rooting for that outcome.